Yeah, the thumbnail wasn't a lie. I'm back. I'll explain what that means after I get a pan of chocolate to reward myself and also get out of all this traffic. Let's get the elephant in the room out of the way immediately. Paris is opening back up. That's not at all what this video is about. But some good news yesterday that just came out that our numbers are looking better than expected, and they're gonna start letting us slowly open things back up, like parks and museums and things, and it's kind of exciting. So I'm really looking forward to, I don't even know, like I still have some level of apprehension, but I also just feel, you know, kind of okay with where things are at. I don't know, we'll see how things progress. To keep you posted. What we're really here for, though, is, well, it's something that has been on my mind for a while, and I thought, you know, I should probably run it by a couple people first, which I have, only one of which I did on camera. Many of you know Natasha. Many of you know that she's had a rough time in confinement, but thankfully she's doing okay, and I got to see her last night. See if I can angle it better. So one of the things that has changed, and the reason that I was going around downtown today so much, was because I decided to start vlogging daily again. And I was curious what your reaction would be, which is hard to see. I can see you squinting at me.
Yeah, I get like the eyebrow behind the mask. I was like,
Not forever.
okay.
I'm gonna try it for a month and see how it goes. Because I didn't mean to hijack our time with filming, but that's what my life is gonna be again here fairly soon apparently. So yeah, watch out, there are cars all over the place. Anyways, we're having a delightful beer up here, and I've been avoiding saying that until I got on the... Yeah, what are your initial thoughts?
Well, I'm just remembering the Jay of before.
Yeah.
Who was excited to stop the day.
I was ready, very ready.
Are you feeling like, is it because, I don't know, what's it because?
So let's talk about it. Thing one, why I quit. The 3 B's of why I quit would be burnout, a bad start, and boredom. That's it, we're done. Okay, have a nice day. The main one being burnout, really, above all, which is gonna come as no surprise to anybody watching this that watched me for any period of time. Making a video every day for any period of time is pretty challenging, but doing it for 3 years nonstop is kind of a lot. I made like 1,140 videos and didn't take a break. I did take a break between the first season and the second season from making videos, but I was still working multiple jobs, never had any real time off, and just slowly but surely worked myself into kind of an early grave. Not really, I'm still alive, obviously, thankfully, but it was tough. It was a lot. I mean, you can kind of think of it as like some sort of an athletic event, I suppose, but that starts to sound like I'm being self-congratulatory. All it really was that I needed a break from it. Really, really badly. And that ties into the second B, which is the bad start. Because when I started doing it, if you've read my book now, this is kind of a shameless plug, I guess, but if you read my book, you know that I started vlogging as things were really headed downhill fast in my life in general, and vlogging for me was a lifeline. It was something that really, quite literally saved me, I feel like, in a lot of ways, but it was also picking up another kind of Herculean task in my life. Not from a point of strength. I was going to say a point of weakness, which may be the case, but it was definitely like, I was at a point in my life where I was really struggling. And vlogging every day might not have been the healthiest way to deal with that, but it was a good way to deal with it for a time. It just meant that I kind of burned through my tank early, and where I think I could have kept going had I started from a better, healthier place, I couldn't because I wasn't there. Which also ties into that third B, which is boredom. I kind of just got bored with everything I was doing. It wasn't even that I was bored with, I love making videos. I love doing this, obviously, but I didn't really know how to mix it up, how to change it. I hadn't accepted the things about it that needed to stay the same, and I was struggling to figure out what I knew needed to change. Because things have to evolve, right? Like, I can't keep doing the exact same thing all the time. There has to be a level of familiarity mixed with a level of novelty or excitement. Those two things have to live in tandem. And I was kind of feeling like rejecting all of the consistency. I was really having a hard time with the element of familiarity within my vlogs, the rhythms, the routines, the things that I was kind of misidentifying as what needed to change. And then I was also struggling to find what was novel or exciting about what I was doing. And it just became this tumble of like, how do I keep making stuff that's worth your time? Because I think your time is incredibly valuable and I'm so lucky to have you here at all. But also like that I'll continue to feel fulfilled and continue to enjoy doing. That said, of course, it brings us to the second thing that I drew and wrote, which is upside down at the moment. Why I'm coming back. The reasons that I'm coming back are also threefold, and they come to you in 3 Qs: quilts, quails, and quagmires. I'm just kidding. I don't have an alliteration for this. But the 3 reasons that I'm coming back are that I miss it. It's something that I'm good at, and it's really the best way to carry the conversation. I really miss it. I knew that I would miss it. Like the minute that I stopped doing it, I knew I was going to miss it. At the time, I didn't miss it. For a few months, like I was so happy to be done. It's hard to express the additional mental load that vlogging every day carries, and we can talk about that because now we've got all kinds of time. But I knew that I was gonna miss it at some point, and it took a few months. Well, it didn't even take that long probably for me to like miss it a little bit, but it took a few months for me to miss it to the point that I was like, man, that is something that I would actually really like to do again. And looking at all the time that was passing that wasn't getting vlogged, I don't know, it was just something that like, it was a really cool thing that I did. It was a gift to myself to be able to look back at so many days and parts of my life and know exactly what was going on. But also just was a great way to maintain a conversation with you as a viewer. Which brings me to that second point, which is that it's such a fantastic way to maintain an ongoing and rich conversation with people that I know personally and people that I've never met before. You may fall into one or the other category, but the ability to just sit down and talk every day is both beneficial for me to be able to hear my thoughts and hear how I'm doing, but also really nice as far as like being able to just clearly communicate with a growing group of people about what's important to me and what I enjoy, what's going on in the city, what's going on in my life. And without that, I was having a really hard time figuring out how do I craft this conversation. Doing the weekly vlogs, doing the kind of one-off videos that I was doing was fun. It was fun to experiment, but I also just never really found my groove with it. I was really having a hard time figuring out how do we maintain and continue this conversation. And that's what I was most afraid of losing, was that ongoing dialogue that had built over years. And I recognize that people are going to get bored and people are going to leave. There are a lot of people that started out with me or came along the way and hung out for a year or two or something like that and then got tired of it and left. And that's always going to be the case. But that ongoing conversation with the group is something that I loved so much and was so integral to everything that I was doing. And I really couldn't figure out how to get that back. And then it's something that I'm good at. I decided to wear the world tour shirt from back when we did our West Coast tour that we masqueraded as a world tour because I had a layover in Copenhagen. But it's something that I really enjoy. I don't think daily vlogging is something that very many people can pull off. That's not a point of bragging. That's just trying to say that like when you stop to think about like what is it that I'm good at, what is it the world needs, what or is it that people are willing to pay for, and what is it that I enjoy and am passionate about, vlogging every day kind of intersects those things in a way that I didn't fully appreciate while I was doing it daily, that I've come to appreciate now. It's something that you see a lot of the people that I admire that did it really, burned out. There are people that have done it. I'm not saying that I'm the only one. There are people that are doing it right now. But it's very difficult. It's not something that a lot of people can do, and it's definitely not something a lot of people can do well. And now I'm getting to that sketchy territory of like saying that I do it well, but I think I do a pretty good job. I hope that's why you're here. But it's something that I find a deep satisfaction in, hitting that upload button every night and knowing that the day's work is done and looking forward to the next day's challenges and the story that I need to dig out of whatever it is that's going on. There's something really, really deeply satisfying about that I enjoy. And it's the reason that most of you are here. The daily vlog is where everything really grew for me on YouTube. Granted, it took me like 3 years to do that at all. The first year, almost nobody showed up. It took me over a year of doing it daily to get just to that first 1,000 subscribers, which is a massive landmark and something that I'm grateful for. But, things continue to grow for that. And I think that it's something that is missed and that is craved by a number of you. But I know that a number of you will also be concerned, and I appreciate that I burned out before. What's to keep me from doing it again? Oh, wrong piece of paper. What will it look like? What is this whole daily vlog thing going to be, and how am I going to keep from driving myself totally insane again? The answer is self-control. I don't know what the finger under the chin was supposed to be. I mean, to put it in 3 quick bullet points again, I'm only committing to do this for a month for now. If my body demands a break, I'll take it. And the videos are going to be a little bit shorter, although I don't know how much that's really going to matter in the end. I'm only going to do this for a month. I'm very tempted off the bat to do it for about like 57 days, just to round it off at an even 1,200 daily vlogs and then see where we are from there. But I'm not going to hold myself to the same rigorous standards I did before. I'm pretty stubborn, and when I set like a real goal for myself, I stick to it because I want to see it through. And that's part of the reason that I burned out in the first round of daily vlogging, was because I, for whatever reason, decided to make 54 weeks worth of intros, commit to a year, and then got to the end of that year and thought, well, I got 2 more weeks of intros. I don't want to let them go to waste. And so somehow the season length became 54 weeks. 54 weeks of daily vlogging, which turned into 108 weeks for the second 2 seasons of non-stop vlog. It's too much. It's too much. So from the outset, I'm just going to come out and say, I'm going to take breaks when I need it. If I need a break, if I'm falling apart, I'm going to take it. And that means if I last a week before I fall apart, then I'm going to take a break after that week. But I want to come back and I want to keep doing this for a little while because I feel like, again, it's something that I really miss. It's something that I want to do. And I just want to see if I can still do it and get back into the groove, take the things that I've learned over the last 6 months or so, or longer now, I guess. It's been like 7 or 8 months since I last daily vlogged. So let's see if we can take the things that I've learned and improved upon, put them into the format that I created before, shuffle it around a bit, and just kind of see what comes out of it. I'll make shorter videos. I gotta hit the 10-minute mark because YouTube hates anything that's not at least 10 minutes long. So you can at least expect that, but I don't want to overcommit to what exactly it's going to look like. I think it's going to be around 10 minutes usually. It'll be daily content. There'll be some sit down and chatting videos like this. There will be videos going out into the city. As the city opens up even more on June 2nd, that means that I can go out and play tourist for you a little bit more effectively, for those of you that wish you could be here and can't be here. But also trying to look back into like, okay, well, what is it that made the initial run so special for me and for you? I'm very curious to hear about that, obviously, in the comments below, so feel free to do that. But looking to the future and thinking, okay, like, I gotta renew my visa this year, as theoretically I've got to start that process in September, and who knows what that's going to look like. At some point I got to get my French driver's license. Eventually, hopefully, I get dual citizenship between France and the United States. And there's a lot of really fun and interesting things that are going to happen between now and then. And I just kind of miss the documenting my life side of things. So that's kind of what it's going to look like, is getting back into a little bit of like the classics, a little bit of some new stuff, a little experimentation. I'll try to speak in French a little bit more for those of you that want that, but not so much that the rest of you leave. That's a balance I've got to strike. And I just look forward to this again, the conversation, the ability to sit down and spend an entire video bringing you up to speed on something, talking about something that matters to me, discussing something that I'm struggling with and don't really know what to do with. There's a lot of really good stuff going on. I'm going to make sure that I've had audio this whole time. That's kind of what it looks like. I know some of you were picking up on the fact that like I was making more videos recently. I thought about just going for like a solid week or 2 without saying anything, but I knew that that wouldn't last very long, and I might as well just come out and say it. I'm making a video every day for the foreseeable future. Don't know what it's going to look like. Don't know how it's going to work out. But I hope you'll be here for it and that you'll join me for whatever little mini adventure it is we're going to create out of this. So yeah, I'm back. Random number generator, generate 323. The list has been shuffled. Jody Marie Mackin. Today's random Patreon producer is Jody Marie Mackin. Thank you, Jody, so much. Say hi to Steve for me. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful day up north. And thanks to everybody for watching. And thanks, of course, to all of my patrons for making this possible and for being such an integral part of this entire story. And I don't even know where we're going from here, but thanks for coming along for the ride, because it has meant the world to me. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning for yet more of this madness. I look forward to saying that a lot more in the future as well. And yeah. See you tomorrow.